Hi, everyone. I'm Gold Derby News and Features Editor Ray Richmond, and I'm welcoming Alex DiGerlando from the FX psychological mystery thriller A Murder at the End of the World to our production designers Meet the Experts panel. Alex, I understand the producers of this series scouted the entire world for circular boutique luxury hotels and remote locations to match the isolated Arctic compound storyline and came up empty. So they called you up and asked you to build one from scratch in Iceland. How daunting a task was that?
We actually built it in New Jersey,
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
in Jersey City. Uh, yeah, I mean, when you read on the page, a big circular hotel, and you think about all the things that have to happen in it, and you know, it probably doesn't exist in the real world. And of course, you do a little bit of research and poking around to see if there's something like that, even things that might not check all the boxes. Like there is a billionaire's hotel in northern Iceland that we didn't actually shoot the hotel itself, but we used the valley that it's in as the place where our hotel lives. And we looked at that place and we quickly realized that as cool as it was, it just didn't check all the boxes that we needed. So anyway, yes, it became quickly apparent that we had to make this thing from scratch. And we were looking for things to ground it in reality, because building the interior is one thing, but having something that you need to see from the inside and out that doesn't exist becomes a little bit more challenging. So we ended up using a tiny bit of the exterior of that hotel, and which is in the north of Iceland, and the front and back of a geothermal pool house in eastern Iceland, and kind of stitched those together with some computer graphics and some built elements, and we ended up with our hotel.
I was hearing that people loved the choices you made and the details you crafted so much that they'd have wanted to actually stay in this place. Have you ever considered getting into the hospitality business?
I'm designing a restaurant right now for this Netflix show I'm doing. I hadn't thought about it, but it's pretty fun. I studied film theory, so I came into this from a film angle, not so much a design angle, but you exercise a different muscle doing that kind of design, and it's been pretty rewarding.
It just looked so sleek and modern and cool. I wanted to stay there too. But you couldn't build every room in this pretend hotel, right? Yet it
Yeah.
still had to look like a retreat that would satisfy a reclusive, super wealthy tech billionaire and the elite of the elite, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we couldn't even fit the whole circle on our stage, which was not a small stage. It was about 26,000 square feet, but we built a semicircle, and built it as a stacked set. So the pool house I was describing before, which is Bach Baths in Iceland, there's kind of a ramp that leads down to the pool house. So we used that as our exterior entrance walkway. And then we built the lobby of our hotel as if it were there, at the entrance, kind of below ground, and then the rest of the ring rested above it. And then right at the top of the stairs from the lobby was our library. And when it was time so we shot out all that stuff, and then we took some time off, went off the stage and ripped out the staircase, plugged up that hole, turned the library into the dining room, and shot. So we basically had to split up all the work. So we shot half the show, but not, all at the beginning, and then put a pause. So some scenes we shot months apart.
I loved the touch of having the Louise Bourgeois watercolor and print artwork in the rooms and hallways. Was that your idea?
Zal and Britt will be very happy to hear that you feel that way. So they had put Louise Bourgeois' artwork on the cover of the scripts. It's just the color palette was inspiring to them. And of course, we all love her work. And then as we were getting at one point in the design process, we kind of had this concept that there would be no art in the hotel, that the kind of the minimalist, the lines were the art. Then was, then Zal was like, I wonder if we could get Louise Bourgeois. And so we reached out to the estate and worked out a deal to reproduce some of her pieces. And
Really beautiful, the way it just accents everything. Wasn't it a challenge though also, Alex, having to make sure shooting could easily be done in this space? I mean, while you're constructing, you have to also simultaneously be thinking about making sure it's all easily accessible, right?
yeah, building in the proper egress and shooting platforms. You mentioned before we couldn't build every room. We actually didn't build that many rooms of the hotel. So we built Darby's room, which then got redressed and doubled as Sean's room. We built the sick bay, and then we built Bill's room on the lower level. And all the other rooms are implied. So behind all of those doors are, just support space for the crew, which they filled up quickly. Although many of them would creep into the set themselves because it was far more comfortable to be on those like luxurious couches than on a plywood platform.
Were you given an unlimited budget to construct this, and then did you exceed it, as they say?
No, I think we stayed pretty true to our budget. I mean, we were throwing a lot of curveballs. We started the shoot in Iceland to do the exterior work, and about 2 days into filming, almost the entire crew came down with COVID, and
Oh God.
So everyone kind of got sequestered in their hotel rooms. I miraculously had come back to the States to work on the big build and was going to go back to shoot the courtyard, which we had built in Iceland. But because Iceland has a amazing crew, but limited pool, there were like 2 other movies on the heels of us that were coming. So, and all the equipment was promised to those. So things that we planned to shoot in Iceland actually ended up having to come to the States. So that whole circular courtyard where the bonfire happens, which was built outside of Reykjavik, that got packed up and shipped to New Jersey, and we reassembled it here. I mean, we even had the pool that was part of Deplar Farm, the hotel in the north of Iceland where Darby gets trapped in it. We had to recreate that here, and even part of the canyon we ended up building here.
One thing I love, and this is really to your great credit, Alex, is that you didn't think super high quality and then gilt everything with gold. It's not the kind of look that we peasants might think would suit a billionaire. Much more lustrous and sophisticated than that. But you didn't need to attach gold to everything. That had to be your design choice, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, Britt and Zal and I, we've been working together for a long time, and we share similar sensibilities. But since the very first thing we did together, the thing that we all kind of marvel at is that wealth, what people think of as wealth is actually very uncreative, and often the people who have the most unlimited resources, at least at a certain period in time, this is maybe not happening as much as anymore, but really could think of amazing ways to spend their money that you and I can't. And building a large large fortress out of old growth trees in a country that doesn't really have old growth trees seemed like a good kind of symbol for the kind of hypocrisy of Andy. We looked at Japanese design, we looked at Scandinavian design, we looked at the whole concept of wabi sabi.
Did you have to search the world for everything, for all your pieces?
Yeah, there were a lot. Lydia Marks is a set decorator I work with. We've worked together on many projects, and she did an amazing job sourcing beautiful, pieces from all over. And also because we were building Iceland and New Jersey, we had to figure out, things that were unique to Iceland that we could import here and build that in. But then also the idea was that Andy would have spared no expense of bringing whatever whatever his heart desired. So in some of those things we built, like that grand fireplace in his underground chamber, and other things we found.
Well, I think we're going to wrap things there. A Murder at the End of the World is available to stream on Hulu. Alex DiGerlando, good luck to you this Emmy season, and thanks for joining us at Gold Derby.
Thanks so much.